Before the break, Matt Haley from the Matt Haley Companies helped us whip together this sour orange roasted pork with Cuban black beans and rice.
Now,
we taste
in a
it.
moment, you're going to talk about some more food, but we got to taste this first.
Yeah.
'Cause it
Oh,
smells
absolutely
amazing. Let us get a piece of this.
You see
here.
how tender this gets after
is.
like 4 hours of roasting at 300? You should almost never need a knife when eating.
Oh, that is so good.
there's
So
some more.
tender, and you got your mouth full.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My mother would not be proud.
The rice and beans are simple, a little bit of lime on this. It's fantastic Sunday dinner.
All right, so we're going to start doing some other dishes. You have something from India.
Yeah, you know, I've got a dish from Nepal that I just absolutely love that we're going to start here. But first we'll talk about this dish. This is called kadai. I first came across this dish when I was riding motorcycles through Rajasthan in the desert, and this was, a guy was on the side of the street and he was making this just with a little gas burner, and he was never left his village, but he was cooking like a classically trained French chef, and he was deglazing, he was sauteing off like ginger and garlic and these chilies in this dish. There's like curry leaves and chickpeas with tomato that gets cooked down, and they just put it up and put it in like a little banana leaf on the side of the road, and you just go at it with some roti. This is you can call this a tortilla, but in India it's roti, it's naan, it's a flatbread, and just eat it like that, and it's just fantastic.
So you just put that right in there, eat it like that, simple enough.
Yeah, or just with a spoon out of a cup, and it's also goes great with it's also called paneer kadai sometimes because you can add curd, which is homemade cheese, you know, just with milk and lemon, and then whatever comes to the top is the curd, and you can apply that to this, and then it becomes paneer kadai.
Now, you brought some pictures with you from some of your travels, and we're going to show some of them right here.
Great shot.
This is amazing. That's a lion.
Yeah. I was riding motorcycles for a couple days looking for these lions in outside of Gujarat, in an area outside in a desert area, and we looked for the lions for 2 days. And I was on a motorcycle and I had a little kid on the back, 14, 15 years old, with a broomstick with a hatchet tied to it. This is the real wild. And we came around the corner and I stopped and I saw that lion, and then I looked behind that lioness and there were 3 more right behind him. And the kid was looking at me, I was looking at him, I was like, man, I got to get a selfie.
Absolutely.
And you weren't nervous?
No, actually I was, and I kind of dig living like that.
All right, well, let's move on. What country are we visiting now?
This is Nepal, and this is like a pretty standard dish. In Nepal, dal bhat is 95% of the time in Nepal, what people eat is dal bhat. It's the same thing, twice a day, every day. And dal is lentil, bhat is rice, but it's always served with greens. It's always finished with curd, and then we saute a little chicken dish right here. What we would do is we will saute this, but we want to start with turmeric. You want to help me with this, Brian? You come from that end.
Just put it
Turmeric,
right in.
yeah, just put it right in. Then there's ginger, there's chili pepper, there's bay leaf, which you'd like to substitute with curry leaf. There's coriander and mustard seeds. And so what we want to do on this is get this up to temp. This is called tempering. So we're tempering the spices now. If you've ever cooked before, if you've ever cooked a dish like this before and it hasn't had the flavor you thought that you tasted in a restaurant, it's because you did not temper the spices. If you add water to this, all the flavor goes away. You need to temper them in oil or fat. And then what we'll do is add a little bit of tomato to this dish, just a little bit. We just want that to end up sticking a little bit. And I have some chicken here that I actually pre-cooked. You can cook it right in this. The recipe has it in this, but I simmered this in water earlier because we're doing TV and we want to be able to taste this. You know, so I'm going to put this in here, excuse me, and we're going to just stir this up a little bit. And then this, it's kind of like a curry. And this will be fantastic in a few minutes. But right now what we'll do is I'll just talk about the rest of the dish here. So it's served here, chicken, when I've been traveling, one of the things about traveling, and I found in like places like Nepal and India, Morocco, whatever, some of the times, like, for example, chicken means you have money. I've gone into homes before and all I've had is greens and a potato and some rice, and it came from the backyard. Sometimes I've eaten in places where there's no salt. I mean, I've cooked in orphanages before. One of the best meals I've ever cooked in my life, which taught me probably the most important aspect of cooking, was in an orphanage in the middle of the Himalayan mountains, and all we had was turnips and rice.
Wow.
And we could not afford salt, butter, fat, nothing. And when you feed 100 kids who eat once a day, food like that, and see how happy they are, it changes your whole outlook on food.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this is gonna cook up here for a little bit, and we have another picture we want to show. That you sent us some pictures, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of pictures. Now,
I'm wondering
the
which
other
one
thing,
you-
too,
oh,
yes,
There
this
we
one here.
go. Where is that?
This is in Kathmandu, and I have 3 adopted daughters that live in Kathmandu, and they're in school over there, and our company has built a couple schools in Nepal and have outfitted an orphanage. And this is Leela is the one on my right, on the left, and Lakshmi. They're 2 of my daughters, and that's with Kabita and Jasmati. Kabita is deaf, which is a very common problem in Nepal. So I'm over there now, and I've got Jyoti, Leela, and Lakshmi are my 3 daughters. It's an incredible story. They were put on a doorstep of an orphanage as kids, and then later on we found out they had a sister, and we searched for days in the middle of nowhere and actually found the sister. Then found out there was 9 more.
Wow.
9 total daughters, 9 sisters in the family. So it was fantastic.
Where's this one?
This is Pranjal Academy. This is the school that our company has built, and we built a farm there, and we built a mini hydropower plant there too. So the school has electricity. The kids are happy. There's a farm there. They're learning all about sustainable farming, and the school is becoming sustainable.
All right.
So a
well,
lot of great stuff. Now, I want to try the dish from India.
okay.
So can you
There-
make, I don't want to reach over, it's rude, that whole thing. Put that right on the tortilla.
Okay.
It's a
Thank
good veggie
you.
dish. Watch that chili.
Yeah.
Maybe
Watch
I'll
that
just
chili.
And I'm
remove
gonna
that
go
for
ahead
right
and
now.
stick my fork in the pan. I know that's rude, but
Yep, got it.
get me a piece of the chicken here.
Got that.
And you found this on the side of the road. a guy
Side of the
making it.
road is where I found some of the best recipes that I've ever used.
And that is good.
This is
Isn't
really
that
good
good?
stuff.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that is
You
a
get the
different
difference
flavor.
in the flavors. It's you're like, wow, a lot of that stuff is in cooking at home. But then when you start adding the mustard seed and
Mm-hmm.
ginger and
That's
things
what
like
makes
that,
it different.
As always, we want to thank you for coming by.
Always
we'll
great to
have
be
you
here.
back
A
because
lot of
there's so
great
much
food.
more to show.
Yeah.
Now here's a look at what's coming up in the news on First at 5 on Fox 21 and later on WBOC News at 6.